Welcome back, everyone. Fellow alumni, colleagues, MAA board members, distinguished guests, award recipients, family members, and friends. Welcome to part 2 of our evening, the 2021 UBC Medical Alumni Association Awards Ceremony. My name is Dr. Jan Christilaw, and I am the incoming UBC MAA board president. And I just want to say thank you to Hamid for all the work he's done in the last couple of years and all the things I've already learned from him. I'm sure I'll continue to learn as time goes on. So thank you, Hamid, for everything you've done, as well as all the other board directors. It's a big job, and it's a big job connecting our community, and he's done a fantastic job. So thank you. It's my privilege to be your host for this part of this very exciting event tonight. And it's different than anything we might have anticipated because of COVID and everything else. I would like to start by acknowledging that UBC Point Grey campus and the Medical Student and Alumni Center in Vancouver are situated on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish people, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, Stolo, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. I would also like to recognize that you are joining us from many places, near and far, most within BC, and I'd like you to acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. If you don't know on whose lands you sit and would like to find out, I recommend going to www.nativeland.ca, and you'll find that posted in the chat right now. It's a great resource, and you can always find out whose land you're on. Personally, I come to you tonight from White Rock, so I'm on the territory, the ancestral territory of the Semiahmoo people, of the Coast Salish people. So before we get started on the awards, a little bit of housekeeping. If anyone is experiencing any audio problems tonight or video problems, please reach out via the chat feature in Zoom for assistance. Tara Newell is here from the engagement office, and she's a whiz at this stuff. She's actually a real expert at making sure everything runs smoothly. That's her role here tonight. And she's monitoring the chat and will pick up on any comments that you make and help out as fast as she can. So here's more or less what's going to happen in the next hour. To deliver the virtual award ceremony, we'll be sharing a presentation and then pausing it to allow for awards presentations and recipient speeches. For the best viewing experience for this Zoom presentation, please ensure that your view is set to speaker view. This will ensure that the speaker remains the primary video on your screen. And this is similar to what you did within the last hour. And just wanted to say, as we are unable to host the last year's award ceremony, we get the privilege this year of celebrating the 2020 award recipients, as well and the 2021 Student Awards and a special UBC Alumni Builder Award. Now, on to our first award of the evening. I would like to welcome Courtney Cousineau, who's the Associate Director of Alumni Engagement in the Faculty of Medicine, to present the 2020-2021 UBC Alumni Builder Award. Courtney, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Christilaw. Good evening. My name is Courtney Cousineau, and I'm the Associate Director, Alumni Engagement at the UBC Faculty of Medicine. And it is my pleasure to be here this evening to present the Alumni UBC Alumni Builder Award. Knowing that we are stronger together, a small group of UBC's first graduates formed Alumni UBC on May 4, 1917. And now we are more than 380,000 strong, spanning over 148 countries. The Alumni Builder Awards were established as part of Alumni UBC 100, the Alumni Association Centennial, to recognize alumni who in their own way have made important contributions to the success of UBC and the alumni community. The awards are presented by Alumni UBC on the recommendation of UBC's faculties, advisory councils, and other leadership groups. Tonight, it is our pleasure to honor one of the alumni builders. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Jim Huang. As an MD student of the SMP inaugural graduating class, Dr. Huang helped co-found the first SMP student golf tournament in 2012 with an organizing committee of fellow students. From its inception, the co-founder's vision was to bring the SMP and Kelowna medical community together for a day of golf and community building while raising important funds for local charities. Dr. Huang's contributions to the first 2 years of the tournament helped lay the groundwork for successive groups of SMP students to grow this annual event into a highly regarded community event supported by local medical students, faculty, staff, alumni, and Kelowna area physicians. Since its inception, the tournament has raised almost $50,000 for local charities, including the Kelowna General Hospital Auxiliary, Kelowna General Hospital Foundation, and the Canadian Mental Health Association Kelowna. Today, Dr. Huang is a hospitalist at Kelowna General Hospital and a clinical instructor with the Department of Family Practice, assisting with medical education through moderating small group sessions and teaching students in clinical settings at KGH. While still young in his career, Dr. Huang has set an example for future SMP alumni by promoting collaboration, community building, and philanthropy in the SMP and Kelowna, and inspiring current and future SMP students to do the same. Please join the UBC Southern Medical Program and the UBC Faculty of Medicine in recognizing Dr. Jim Huang for his service, dedication, and contribution to UBC and its alumni community. To a mast.
Thank you so much, Courtney, and congratulations to Dr. Huang. It's wonderful work, and thank you so much for everything you've done. Our next award is our annual Wallace Wilson Leadership Award, and it is presented to a UBC MD graduate who has demonstrated high ethical standards and outstanding leadership to the profession. This year, we are honored to present this special award to 2 deserving individuals. These are Dr. Kenneth G, MD of 85, and Dr. Richard Warren, MD 74. So first of all, who was Wallace Wilson? Dr. Wilson was actively involved in the development of health insurance in Canada and was one of the principal architects of the Canadian medical system as we know it today. After serving in the armed forces as Chief Medical Officer for the Army Pacific Command in 1942, he became President of the Canadian Medical Association in 1946, so right after the war. In 1947, he became Canada's delegate to the World Health Organization. In fact, Canada's first delegate to a fledgling organization at that time. And then from 1954 to 1964, he was chair of the Committee on Ethics of the CMA. He was also the chair of the committee that established the College of General Practice in Canada, which was founded in June of 1954. He was instrumental in establishing the Faculty of Medicine at UBC. And when he died on March 12, 1966, at the age of 78, the country mourned the passing of a great doctor, humanist, and educator. He contributed to every aspect of life in Canada, especially BC, in medicine, community service, and in education. I now welcome Dr. Graham Huang, Director of the Coronary Care Unit at Vancouver General Hospital and a clinical professor in the UBC Faculty of Medicine, to present the Wallace Wilson Leadership Award to Dr. Kenneth G. Over to you, Dr. Huang.
Can everyone hear me? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you very much. My name is Graham Huang. I'm a cardiologist at Vancouver General Hospital, and it is a true privilege and honor to congratulate and introduce my good friend and colleague, Dr. Ken Jin, as one of the 2 recipients of the 2020 UBC Wallace Wilson Leadership Award. Those of you who know Ken, and I imagine that most of you online do, will know him to be a peerless and meticulous clinician and a passionate educator. Countless patients and colleagues have benefited from his encyclopedic knowledge of clinical medicine and dedication to his craft, and literally generations of cardiology trainees owe their career to Ken's lifelong devotion to medical education, and I count myself as one of them. Therefore, I think it's entirely fitting that he has already appropriately and repeatedly been recognized for his excellence in clinical medicine and medical education at local, regional, provincial, and national level. However, it's a strength in medical leadership that we are recognizing and celebrating tonight. The Wallace Wilson Award is provided by the UBC Medical Alumni Association to an individual who has demonstrated high ethical standards and outstanding leadership to the profession. As a former trainee and now colleague of Ken's, I cannot think of a more worthy recipient and one who fully embodies the essence of this award. During his time at VGH and UBC, it is without question that Dr. Jin has been the model of effective leadership at the divisional, hospital, university, regional, and national level. His leadership positions have included highly successful and long-standing appointments as the director of the cardiac care unit at VGH, director of the UBC Adult Cardiology Training Program, member of the executive at the Canadian Cardiovascular Society, member of the examination board for the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, regional head of cardiac sciences for the Vancouver Coastal Health Authority, and a two-term division head of the VGH Division of Cardiology. And as many of you may have already known, he has recently accepted the position of the new VGH Department of Medicine head. Ken has consistently displayed a measured, collegial, thoughtful, and inclusive leadership style to each of these leadership positions, while overseeing transformational changes to each of the institutions and programs that he has had the opportunity to lead. He is keenly aware of the impact of any decision he makes on others around him, and works with what I would call a big tent mentality to ensure that the actions he supports and evolves provide maximum benefit to as many individuals as possible. He forges lasting and meaningful relationships with other like-minded clinical leaders and clinicians in order to execute his visions for improving patient care for patients. Most importantly, I think Ken consistently acts with the highest of ethical standards in each of his leadership positions. His leadership style is thoughtful, inclusive, and open, and based on principles of equity and integrity. Dr. Jin actively seeks the opinions of others before coming to a decision, and his decisions are always fair and decided to generate the greatest benefit for as many individuals as possible. It was truly a pleasure to nominate Ken, and I was thrilled to hear that he was a successful and most deserving winner. Please join with me to wish Dr. Jin a richly deserved congratulations, and also best wishes for continued success in an already storied career. Congratulations, Ken. Well deserved.
Thank you. And over to Dr. Jin.
Thank you so much, Graham, but I think you went over time. So I've been privileged to work with an amazing team of trainees, nurses, sonographers, administrators, physicians, and close colleagues and friends. We've had an amazing collaboration with our cardiac anesthesiologist, Hamid being the chief among those, the cardiac surgeons and the cardiologists. And the teamwork has led to the VGH cardiac program being recognized as one of the top 200 centers for cardiac care in the world, and one of only 6 Canadian centers that have been so recognized. So I'd just like to thank everyone, and I'd like to give a shout out to my wife, Margot, who's been she has been a supportive individual for many years. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ken, for those words, and very hearty congratulations, and certainly well deserved. I'd now like to introduce Dr. James Boyle, who's our treasurer of the MAA. He was also a clinical associate professor in the UBC Faculty of Medicine and medical director of burns and plastics at VGH, to present the Wallace Wilson Leadership Award to Dr. Richard Warren. And Jim, over to you.
Thank you. I'll see what everybody says, and I presume you can hear me, and I'll apologize for my voice. Just before I get introduced to Rick, I have to say that I looked back through all the people that were attending and saw some of my previous heroes. I see Rick Beauchamp there, and of course Felix Dirty, who has asked me to do his taxes after he heard my treasurer report. However, I told him not my strength. It is my great pleasure to nominate and to introduce you to Rick Warren. As we all do nowadays, I have to start off my talk by telling you my conflict of interest. And my conflict of interest is that Rick is a really great friend and somebody I've admired for a long time. So accepting my conflict, I will continue with my introduction and of everyone to Rick. Rick is a great friend. I met Rick when I was an R1 and he was the senior resident, and we spent way too many nights together, putting people back together again. And I knew at that time that Rick was who I wanted to emulate. If I could be anywhere near as compassionate, as interested, and every other adjective you can think of as Rick was, I would be happy in my life. It's impossible to list all the different things that Rick's done, and I won't even try, but let me just say that among Rick's leadership and honors are, he was the head of our division from 1992 to 2003. And I can tell you, as a leader, he just brought in so many programs to our division that weren't there before and that have continued on. He's held a number of positions, including president of the Canadian Society of Aesthetic Surgery and the Northwest Society of Plastic Surgery. He's been on the board of the Canadian Society of Plastic Surgery, the American Board of Plastic Surgery. He was chair of the Plastic Surgery Exam Board and the Royal College Specialty Committee. He has innumerable publications, including textbooks. And Rick really has had over 500 invited presentations around the world. It's fascinating listening to Rick and having him talk about all the different people he's been able to meet in his career in plastic surgery. Probably the most important, and Rick can comment on this, but probably the most important thing that Rick contributed to was the development of plastic surgery at the Royal College level. And for his supreme work that he did at this level, he received both the President's Medal from our society and the Lifetime Achievement Award. And he may be the only person to ever have won both those awards from the Royal College. I'll just say, I know I have not done Rick justice in summarizing his career, but I think he'll forgive me, hopefully. It's my honor to present Rick to you for the Wallace Wilson Award. Congratulations, Rick, for an award that you really, truly deserve. Thank you.
Over to you, Rick. Dr. Warren.
Right. How's the sound? Can you hear me?
It's very good.
Great. Well, first of all, I can't let that go by without thanking Jim for what he just said. Jim and I go back a long way. As he said, we are residents together and our children seem to grow up together. Really, nobody around here knows me quite as well as Jim does. Anyway, it's a tremendous honor to receive this award, the UBC Medical Alumni Award with the Wallace Wilson name attached to it. And I did some digging myself, and in 1996, there was an article on Wallace Wilson in the BC Medical Journal, and this is what they said about him. They said he was a gentle, soft-spoken man, but he was made of steel with integrity and courage. So to receive an award in the name of a man like that is really humbling. The other thing that really means a lot to me is the fact that this is from the UBC Medical Alumni Association. Why do I say that? Well, I arrived at UBC when I was 18 years old. I moved into the Totem Park residence. I was a student, I was a medical student, I was a resident, I'm faculty. It's been 50 years. It's been the backbone of my life. And for the last 25 of those years, I've sort of been on the lecture circuit, and I can tell you, I've never gone anywhere without making sure people in the audience knew where I was from. If I was giving a talk, the UBC logo was on the first slide, and this tie, which is my favorite UBC tie, was often on me. Now, this award is meant to recognize leadership, and just full disclosure, when I started out, I had no intention of being a leader of anything. I just wanted to be a good surgeon, but you know how things go in medicine, one thing leads to the other, and the next thing you know, I'm volunteering for things, and you realize that medical associations, they're run by volunteer labor, and so it was no brilliance on my part that I did all these things. It was just sort of the willingness to say, I'll do it. And just to put in a plug for volunteerism, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a heady experience being the head of things. You get to drive the ship and decide where things are going. And you meet just some of the most fascinating people, some people around the world I consider my best friends right now. And I could text them or phone them and have wonderful relationships. And that's from these organizations I've been part of. So I'd just like to finish up by thanking a couple of people. I couldn't have done what I did traveling a lot without two. When I was at my busiest, I had two office partners who were wonderful. The late Patty Clugston was my partner for about 10 years, and then Peter Lennox. Both of them I knew had my back when I was away, and it was a wonderful thing to know I had excellent surgeons behind me. I had an office assistant, Tracy Stubbe, who's still with me over 30 years, and she always made the impossible happen. And then on the day after Mother's Day, I got to say this, I have to thank my own mother, who's deceased, and my father, who really put me on the right road out of Port Alberni. And of course, the mother that I'm hanging around with mostly, which is my wife of 47 years, Betty. Betty gave up a tenure track position in pharmacology to be a professor to look after two kids and me. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I couldn't have done all the stuff I have done without her backing. So once again, a tremendous honor receiving this award. It's a lifetime achievement, and I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for it. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much to both of the recipients for your wonderful speeches and really exemplifying what we love to see within our community. Such great leadership, such enthusiasm, and such wonderful people. So thank you so much for being part of our community. It's really amazing and wonderful. Thank you. Moving on now to our next award. The Honorary Medical Alumni Award recognizes a member of the UBC Faculty of Medicine community who has made a significant contribution as a committed clinician, teacher, mentor, or administrator, thereby advancing the goals of the UBC Faculty of Medicine. And interestingly enough, on a personal note, I'll just say that many of you will be aware of the fact that I'm not a UBC alumni in medicine, but that I was actually the recipient of this very award in 2016 and became an honorary member of this community. Anyway, this year's recipients are Dr. Mark Hill and Dr. Adeera Levin. And I would like to welcome, first of all, Dr. Nick Carr, a plastic surgeon, Skinworks and clinical professor, UBC Department of Surgery, to present the Honorary Alumni Award to Dr. Mark Hill.
Thanks, Jan. I'm very pleased that I was able to nominate Mark for this award. So this award, I'll read the description for you. It's the Honorary Medical Alumni Award. It recognizes a member of the UBC Faculty of Medicine community who's made a significant contribution as a committed clinician, teacher, mentor, or administrator, thereby advancing the goals of the UBC Faculty of Medicine. So Hamid and Jan have given me exactly 2 minutes to describe a very close friend and an amazing person. So I'll start off by saying this. In 1932, Princeton University succeeded in the legendary recruitment of Albert Einstein to the newly formed Institute for Advanced Study. In 1988, the LA Kings shocked the hockey world by signing the great one, Wayne Gretzky. And I submit to you of equal importance, in 2006, UBC signed Dr. Mark Hill to the Division of Plastic Surgery. Now you may say, no big deal, everyone wants to leave Saskatchewan, but Mark had already left Saskatchewan. After combined degrees in plant science and biochemistry and graduating with distinction, he completed medical school and plastic surgery in Saskatoon, then a prestigious fellowship in hand and microsurgery at the world famous Bunkie Clinic in San Francisco. Mark then practiced in Victoria for many years, establishing a reputation as a superb clinician before his wanderlust took him and his family, many of whom are online with us tonight, and welcome to them, took him and his family to Abu Dhabi for 6 years. And then UBC pounced. Mark was set to return to Victoria when the greatest draft move of all time took place and UBC snagged him. Mark immediately exerted his influence, establishing new standards for excellence in plastic surgery. He took on the residency program directorship position, became a Royal College examiner, and ran the plastic surgery business group. He did all of this while becoming a role model for a generation of UBC plastic surgery graduates. In summary, I'll close by saying that UBC may not have created Mark Hill, but we do claim him as our own and are proud to name him the recipient of this year's or last year's UBC MAA Honorary Medical Alumni Award. Mark, it gives me immense pleasure to award you this year and to present you to our group.
Thank you very much, Nick. Over to Mark. Mark, are you here? Perfect.
I am. Well, first of all, I'd certainly like to thank the nominating committee and for their generous recommendation, and also Dr. Carr for his overly kind words. I'm very honored to accept this award, and it's truly special. Although I always feel my roots are in the prairies, which I think keeps me grounded, I spent most of my life on the West Coast, and truly the best part of my career has been here in Vancouver, working with all the UBC alumni, which I'm so proud now to be part of. It's truly an honor to receive the award on the same night as my colleague and truly exceptional person, Dr. Rick Warren, who I've worked with for many years, and I congratulate him, and I certainly congratulate all the other award winners this evening. When I look back at some of the previous honorees, I feel in privileged company, and Jan, you're one of those. 3 years ago, I was made an honorary member of the UBC Plastic Surgery Alumni, and this award tonight really rounds out the extreme welcome that I've always felt with the people that are UBC alumni. I'm really proud to be here, and hopefully will continue to contribute and work with the many great and true UBC alumni. So once again, thanks to everyone, and appreciate the honor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hill. That was lovely. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Mike Allard, Vice Dean, Health Engagement at UBC, to present the Honorary Alumni Award to Dr. Adeera Levin.
Thanks so much, Jen. It gives me a real privilege to be here. And you know, when I was thinking about the things that I was going to say about Adeera, it occurred to me that both our associations with Providence Healthcare and UBC started about the same time. So not that we're old or anything, but I've had quite a long time getting to see all the many amazing things that Adeera does. So I'm so delighted to be able to have nominated her for this Honorary Alumnus Award, but also to be able to tell you a little bit about her. Adeera completed her MD and then her internal medicine at McMaster, and then went on to do clinical and research fellowships in nephrology at University of Toronto before coming here in 1990 as a consultant nephropathologist, and has been there, as I said, since that time, and is now a professor in the Department of Medicine at UBC. And you know, when you heard Jan reading out what the award is meant to signify, boy, I think Adeera does that in spades. It's amazing. The full spectrum of things, from a committed, excellent teacher across undergraduate, resident, fellow, and professional education, and also serves as a superb mentor and role model for the next generation. In fact, has already been recognized a couple of times by St. Paul's and the Faculty of Medicine for excellence in her teaching. That's not all. She's an excellent, outstanding, highly published clinician scientist whose major focus has really been on improving the quality of life and outcomes for patients suffering from kidney disease. And she runs a multifaceted, multidisciplinary program that has really made significant impacts in understanding the determinants of kidney health and disease, as well as underlying evidence-informed changes in practice and policy. You know, I mentioned a few things. She's a professor in the School of Medicine, but she's also had a number of really dramatically important leadership roles locally, nationally, and internationally. She's the head of the Division of Nephrology in the Department of Medicine at UBC. She's also the executive director of the BC Renal Agency and is the chair of Global Research Initiatives for the International Society of Nephrology. And you know, and not to stop there. Of course, the COVID-19 pandemic had an impact on all of us, and everyone in Adeera stepped up and contributed significantly to the leadership aspects around that, and is now the lead of the interdisciplinary COVID-19 care network, which really is going to have a huge impact on folks who've had COVID-19, and as we learn more about it, how to manage them and treat them properly. You know, and we're here tonight making her an honorary alumnus, but you know, many other people around here and elsewhere have recognized how significant her contributions are. And I'm just going to read a few highlights of things that she's been recognized for. She received the Medal of Research Excellence and the National President's Award from the Kidney Foundation of Canada. She received the Aubrey J. Tingle Prize from the Michael Smith Foundation for Health Research, and that's an award given to a researcher whose work in health research is internationally recognized and has significant impact on advancing clinical or health services and policy research. Adeera's done that. She's also a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences and is a member of the Order of Canada, which she was inducted into in 2015. And that latter membership was for her body of work in community education, clinical care, and research dedicated to patients living with kidney disease. So it's really my privilege and pleasure to tell you about Adeera and welcome her to the Medical Alumni Community. I'm so pleased to have that happen. Adeera, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mike, for that. Whenever I listen to that, I'm not quite sure it's me you're talking about. Actually, I've just had a wonderful history of fantastic teachers and role models. And I think, as others have said before me, giving back and being able to be that model for others is really a privilege and one that I take very seriously. I never went to UBC. In fact, I came here from Toronto because in Toronto, they told me that there was no place for a clinician scientist. They only wanted a basic scientist in nephrology, and I wasn't going to make that mark at that moment. And I came and I was welcomed by Providence Healthcare, Jim Hogg, Angus Ray, and I was given a chance to be a clinical researcher at a time where there wasn't very much infrastructure or anything that allowed you to do that. And it's really fantastic that the province has embraced clinical research, that nephrology has embraced clinical research, and I've been able to be a part of a fantastic team and be supported by my colleagues, both senior and junior, by all of the residents and across all the disciplines, anesthesia, urology, transplantation. All of us have sort of gone on this journey together, and it's really been remarkable, and not to mention the patients who I keep at the center of all things. So it's really, really fantastic that I was nominated and that I have received this award, and it makes me very proud to join the likes of others, including Jan, to be a part of this alumni. So thank you very much for your very kind words and for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Adeera. Thank you very much to both of you, and congratulations again on these great awards. Certainly very well deserved, and welcome to our community. We look forward to working with you within the MAA for many years to come. We are now moving along to a new award, a different award rather, and that's the Silver Anniversary Award. This award recognizes a graduate of the 25th anniversary class who, in the opinion of their classmates, has demonstrated qualities in one or more of the following areas: leadership, research, teaching, clinical care, administration, or public policy. So you'll know that the 2019-2020 25th anniversary class is the MD class of 1994. I would like to ask classmate Dr. Charlie Chen, who's the Program Director of Palliative and End-of-Life Care at the, and the Alberta Health Services from the MD class of 1994, to present the Silver Anniversary Award to Dr. Donna McLachlan. Over to you, Charlie.
Good evening, everyone. It is with great honor that I present the UBC Medical Alumni Association Silver Anniversary Award for the class of 1994 to Donna McLachlan. I have known Donna for 35 years, and she is one of my dearest friends. She was 2 years ahead of me in junior high school, and I have fond memories of seeing her perform as Maria in our school production of Sound of Music. I was in the pit band playing the trumpet. So it was to my great surprise and pleasure when we were partnered in first year anatomy class, and we swiftly bonded over dissections of our cadaver. Donna has spent the past 25 years as an exemplary full-scope Vancouver-based family physician and medical teacher. Her patients are so devoted to her because of her patient family-focused, personalized attention and care. From her tremendous leadership in launching the St. Paul's Family Practice Maternity Clinic, to doing home visits to care for patients dying at home, and for her work as a physician attending to women after sexual assaults, to her role as a practice assessor for the College of Physicians and Surgeons of BC, what remains unwavering is Donna's dedication, compassion, and perseverance. One can always rely on Donna to do the right thing. At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Donna gathered family and friends, and not a few strangers, to sew and distribute free masks. So if you hear about the raid of a sweatshop made up of retired gay costume designers making masks in Yaletown, blame Donna. On top of all this, she has raised 2 beautiful children, ran half marathons, spent a year working in Australia, and kept in touch with so many of us in the class of 94. Without her as the center of our hub, keeping tabs on all of us, the 25th anniversary cruise and dinner would not have taken place. So Donna, this Silver Anniversary Award for the class of 94 goes to you for embodying our class spirit and for being the most perfect Maria to all us Von Trapp children.
Fantastic. Over to you, Donna.
Hi, thanks so much. I think it's so fitting. Thank you, Charlie. That was amazing. I think it's so fitting that Charlie Chen was chosen to present my award. I mean, I've known him the longest of anyone in our class, as he mentioned earlier. And he was actually the last person that I visited before the pandemic started. So my last flight was actually to Calgary with my kids to go watch a play with him and his partner. And, you know, I'm so thankful that I was so present for that and that we got to do one final trip and one final trip to the theater, which we're desperately waiting to get back to. Anyways, he's one of my favorite people, and I'm very thankful that he's still in my life after all of these years. Charlie knows me quite well, and I got a really odd gift for him I think it was my 30th birthday. He gave me a collection of feminist poetry. And it was the title was "When I Am Old, I Shall Wear Purple," which is kind of funny because I actually have purple hair. I'm not sure if it shows up on the video or anything, but I, through COVID, you know, obviously I decided whatever. I'm wearing scrubs all day and a shield and a mask, and half my patients don't recognize me anymore. And some of the children are kind of afraid of me because I used to always be kind of bubbly and wear like bright colored clothes. And now they're like, are you my doctor? I don't know if I recognize you. So I thought the purple hair would be a bit fun and kind of make people a little bit more relaxed in all of this tension. I feel like this last year, I was so thankful that we had our 25th grad reunion before all this happened, made a lot of great connections. And I have to say throughout this last year, people have really come together. I think, my class in particular, our generation, we're all at that junction of our careers where many of us are leaders in our hospitals and communities. We're teachers, we're parents, we have elderly parents. We're sort of that sandwich kind of generation right now. We've been asked to work harder and smarter. Most of us have likely had a lot of loss and little in the way of a break in the last year. And I expect that many of us are suffering from burnout and desperate to end this pandemic. I've realized that the thing that I take from medicine the most is my connection, and that's my strength and my priority. Being connected to people, medicine is amazing for that. And I love my connection to my patients. I'm thankful for the support that they've given me in the last 2 decades that I've been their family doc. There isn't a visit that goes by where they don't ask me how I'm doing, which I find, quite amazing. It's also made me feel more part of the bigger team of healthcare providers, everyone here. From those early days where we all look sort of terrified and deer in the headlights and what's going to happen, to knowing that, we've all been in battle for a year for sure. Anyways, I wish that all of my classmates from the class of 94 and all my medical colleagues are staying safe and sane. And I look forward to seeing everyone in person again. Just wanted to say I feel very special that my class thought that I should be the recipient of this award. And I'm sure that's just because I do feel like I'm someone who makes connections and keeps them and keeps tabs of people over the years. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Donna. Well deserved, and congratulations on this award tonight. And very nice speeches, everybody. Thank you so much for your passion and your engagement in this process. So now we're moving on from the Alumni Awards into the Student Awards. And this year, we have the honor of recognizing both the 2020 and 2021 Student Leadership Awards, because we didn't do them last year. Our thanks to the Medical Undergraduate Society Council for their collaboration in collecting the nominations and providing input into the finalist selection process. And I now have the honor of reading some of the kind words provided by the peer student nominators in recognition of the student recipients. So here you see the two 2020 Student Leadership Award recipients. And these are Rohit Singh and Vivian Tsang. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about them both. First of all, Rohit. Rohit is an integral member of the medical student community, approachable, trustworthy, generous, and an incredibly hard worker with a heart of gold, whose leadership is both inspiring and much appreciated. Rohit is also motivated for change. He promotes awareness and conversation around the profession and is always eager to discuss and brainstorm with his classmates on improving themselves for their future patients. And those are words from his peers. Very lovely words. And now Vivian. Vivian, a leader, a visionary, and role model. She is wholeheartedly committed to improving the medical student community and healthcare more broadly. As elected student senator for the Faculty of Medicine, she relayed the voice of medical students to university leadership, leading discussions to increase funding for medical student research and revising faculty policies to encourage learning outside the classroom through conference participation and advocacy work. And remember that all this has been done in the context of a very difficult year during this pandemic. So congratulations to Rohit and Vivian on your much deserved award. And now we're moving on to the 2021 Student Leadership Awards. Congratulations to the 2021 Student Leadership Award recipients, Armaghan or Army, Alum, and Morgan Haines. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about these two. Army is a passionate mental health advocate and dedicated role model for his class. Over the last year, Army navigated the COVID pandemic not only for his class, but also for the class of 2024 as they began medical school. He acted as the main advocate and representative for both classes, almost 600 students, during an incredibly challenging time. In a year where forming connections between the different classes has been very challenging, Army inspired many in the class of 2024 by being a supportive and compassionate ally. Well done, Army. Now on to Morgan Haines. Morgan is an incredible community organizer, advocate, and mentor. At the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic, just one day after classes were canceled and clerkship was paused, Morgan anticipated the rising needs of the medical community and general public and co-created what would eventually become the BC COVID-19 Medical Student Response Team, or MSRT. Under his leadership, this organization grew to represent over 800 volunteers, spanning over 70 different projects that have included providing physicians with childcare, contact tracing, and supporting isolated older adults. Morgan is an outstanding exemplar of student leadership, and his efforts have contributed to a more socially responsible, compassionate, and cohesive medical student community. Army and Morgan, you're both exemplars in your community, and we congratulate you both on these awards. Congratulations on your success this year and continued success in the future. On behalf of the UBC Medical Alumni Association, I offer our congratulations to each of the student awards, all four of you. And we look forward to having you join the alumni community and the MAA soon, and then working together with you for many years to come. Thank you very much. Well, actually, that's the end of our awards for tonight. And I must say, we're more or less right on time, so that's a good thing too. What an inspiring evening. It's always wonderful to hear about the amazing people within our community and to realize how many people within our community have gone so far above and beyond anything that could have been expected from them. Congratulations to all of the award recipients. On behalf of the UBC Medical Alumni Association, we're truly honored to have to recognize you and to have your contributions to our medical community recognized tonight. Now, before we go tonight, I just want to remind you to sign up as a UBC MAA member. A lot of people assume that you're automatically a member, and that's not the case. You actually have to sign up and make sure that you're registered. So please do that. And if you'd like to volunteer or be engaged with the MAA or the board or anything else, please be in touch with us. We're easy to find. You'll find the email in the chat right now, and we're always glad to hear from you. We have an exciting year planned, and the main thing we want to do is make sure that we really engage with all members of our community as we build the community for the future. I think that's up in the chat now, so that's great. Okay. Lastly, I would like to extend my continued thanks and appreciation to all our members and guests this evening who continue to work tirelessly on the front lines of the pandemic. It's still troubling times. We still have a lot of work ahead of us. We're not out of this yet. We all have to work together to make sure that we get through this safely. And as Bonnie would say, be kind and be safe. I also want to just close the evening by saying doing this job and being part of the MAA it's a great honor, and it's a great honor to have come into this role. And it's made very easy by working with amazing staff. So Courtney, Eric, everybody else at the office, you do an amazing job, and we are eternally grateful for everything you've done. I'd also like to thank everybody else on the board for all the work you put in this year, and just say that it's going to be a fantastic year despite everything. And we really look forward to the coming months working together. Thank you, everybody. We wish everyone well in this time of great uncertainty. Be safe and stay healthy. Good evening to everybody, and be in touch. You're part of the family.